Hello lovelies, I'm Debs and this is Debs and this welcome I've got for you my summer sewing roundup. So welcome if you're new here and welcome back if you've been before. You're all very welcome, as you all know. I'm finally going to get round to recording this. I'm sure I've missed some out, so we're just going to go through. I'm going to include kind of ones that didn't quite make it as well. Just because I thought that might be interesting. And then the other video that I'm hoping you're going to get, so that this lot can finally go away, is my Me Maids Away Abroad edition, Croatia edition. So I'm going to start with one. I'm not sure whether this one got shared or not. This is the Closet Core Crew, and there are a couple of crew patterns here. The only way to get this now is to join at the fully inclusive, join at the year's rate. Otherwise, some of them I think are being released as standalone patterns. I like this. It just didn't quite, I don't know. This was supposed to be a wearable toile for frock tails. I didn't get around to making it before because I went with the magnolia, which I put in here. I think that was made in May, so that doesn't feel like quite made the cut, whereas this one was finished in June, I think. So this is in some cotton sateen that's been in my stash for, I think we worked out like 8 or 9 years. So that one's good to be out of stash. Use these nice buttons. This comes in the total Closet Core range, which is like 0 to 32, I think, with a D-cup option on some of the sizes. It has pockets and it has this very cool, I'm not sure you'll be able to see, I might have to put a line drawing in, but it's got this button placket that goes into the pocket in order to close it, but the top part of it is sewn up. So a bit like you do an invisible side zip. And it also has a placket at the back. It has kind of like a cutaway almost bodice, which I quite like, and kind of A-line shaped skirt with a seam up the back. And I like that. I haven't worn it very much, but when I have remembered that I've got it, I have worn it. So that was number one. Number two, which I think you've seen before, which is why I'm kind of going through them. I'll try and go through these reasonably quickly because I think you've seen some of them before. These are the Claire shorts. Really nice pattern. Has these really big pockets that go over the side seam, which when I cut a size too small at the hip, made it quite tricky to alter them. And they do fit currently. And I took them away when we went away, but I'll talk about that in the other mate. There is nice specky seamstress bias binding, and they're a good useful make with their again white glass buttons, and it's a navy kind of twill weave cotton, which is it's a lovely weight. I've got a pinafore in the same stuff. Now the next one I was going to tell you about is this one, which is the Mama, I think it's from Mademoiselle or something, Morena from Tauco magazine, and I did one of their wear and share, so it's not pattern test, but it's like kind of celebrating, and I've got one of those in the queue at the moment as well, so yes, I'm looking forward to that one. This one was really interesting. You can see it's got these kind of almost like a dart that comes into the collar point, which gives it a really nice look, and you get this really crisp edge. I'm glad I was working with something cotton because it's quite tricky in other fabrics. But this one actually has been worn quite a lot. I have, it's the same fabric as this very crumpled Eve shirt that I'm wearing. And it's a really dense cotton sheeting that I got from a fabric thrift place, and I think I've used it all now, but it's been really handy to do toiles with, but also to wear things that actually get worn and worn and worn because it's such a soft kind of dense cotton. It's lovely. It's really smooth handle. Anyway, so that's that one. Size 4 in Tauco, and sometimes I have to tweak it, and this one was really, that's right, I made a 4, but it was really snug even when I'd done my normal adjustments. So but I just took out less of each of the darts. There was like 4 darts in it, front and back body, so you get like a nice fit, but it means you can tweak the fit. The fourth one in this section, and then we'll do a couple of toiles, is this one, which you've definitely seen on the channel before. This is my Jenna shirt in Nanny Eero double cotton gauze. Yeah, I don't know if I talked about this. So I've made my normal size in this, and it is supposed to be oversized, and it is oversized, but I think it's perhaps just a bit too oversized. I feel a bit untidy in it, and I think it's a combination of that soft double gauze fabric and the oversized nature. Now, I've worn it loads, and I've worn it tucked in. I probably worn it more tucked in than I have open, because I just feel very kind of slouchy when it's out, which might, yeah, on other occasions, in other years, that would have been perfect. But this year, I'm just kind of a bit more, I don't know, I'm wanting a bit more structure in my makes. So, yes, I have loved wearing it. I tend to wear it tucked in with the sleeves rolled up, and the fabric is just beautiful. The Jenna has these really nice little like gussets in at the side to help with the construction. The hem was a little bit tricky to do in the double gauze because it wanted to get a bit wavy, and I probably should have stabilized it, but I didn't. But mostly because I kind of wanted to keep, the double gauziness of it. So yes, that one is successful, but I kind of think it's telling me things I need to remember about me and fit. I'm going to show you the toiles that didn't quite get to be real. What do I mean? Real garments. God, brain. So this is part of the Josephine set by, again, Closet Core Crew. It is a little top that has a button band at the back. You can see I've made this one in calico and then started to put my drawings all over it. And it wasn't bad, actually, for the first go. It fitted really well, apart from the length of the straps. And I did kind of adjust that little bit as I went. But I didn't make this, so partly because I ran out of time, and partly because I just thought, how difficult is it to do a buttons up on a top like this? And I've got quite good shoulder dexterity, but I was like, I don't really want to be asking somebody to button me up. I decided I probably would put it on, like you put a bra on sometimes, and like do it up at the front and then twiddle it round to the back. But yes, I had some pink fabric ready to go for that, and it just didn't get there, and I don't think it'll get made until next summer, which probably means I'll have to re-toile it. The second toile, I don't know why I haven't made this, actually. This is the Stocks Annie Rock skirt, which is a bias cut skirt made currently in a very attractive bed sheet. And I toiled it to make sure that I got the size right. It has this waistband facing, and then you insert a drawstring so that you can kind of snug it in. It has these lovely big pockets that kind of wrap around to the side. I will put the line drawings in. And then it has a back zip. My back zip is atrocious. I'm not quite sure what's gone on there. But I think, I didn't get that made. I think this will get made, but perhaps not in the fabric that I was going to make it in for summer. I might do a bit of a switcheroo. But you'll have to wait and see in my autumn plans for that one. And the other one in the other side of the duvet is the Stocks Oblong, I think. If we can put this on so you get a bit of an idea. So this is, you can make this in all sorts of, try and see if I could see, there you go. You can make this in all sorts of fabrics and it would have a very different effect. It's got these really deep side slits so you can put your hands in your pockets, which I really like. I can kind of see it. I can see it in lots of fabrics, actually. My plan had been to make this in a rayon as a night shirt, so to kind of chop the sleeves off and then just do buttons up it, and I thought that would make quite a nice night shirt. But then I don't know, I just had a bit of a thing about what I was going to do with whether the collar would feel nice. But then I was wearing a pair of pyjamas yesterday that have got piping in them, and I don't mind those. So I think it's got plenty of room in it. It's got the Stocks sleeve in it, which always gives you really good range of movement at your shoulders, which I think is good. And you can, I think Lindy's done it in the past, where you can add a pleat into that yoke at the back to give you more room if you need it, but I decided I probably didn't need it. But then I could see it in like a cotton sateen, like as a kind of like an evening look, so very crisp, with a matching pair of very straight trousers and a silk blouse. So that bit's scratching me. So then, I don't know, then I just didn't make it at all. So, but again, this is one that kind of goes through the seasons, I think, depending on what fabric you're making. So that one may well get made. And I will be putting pictures where I've got them of me in these, but there might be pictures you've seen before. Yeah, I'm not planning to put them on Twirl today. Sorry. This one, I love this. I really want to make a long version of this. This is the Soho House 7 Sauvie sundress with the kind of sewn down pocket detail. This is made in, oh, I've forgotten again. It's a brushed cotton something that Ruth Wilson gave to me. And this got worn loads, both away and through the summer, just because it was just felt really light and floaty to put on. There are a couple of longer versions of this, but I really like that pattern, and I've done my tweaks to it, so actually the bodice fits beautifully. So yes, this got worn a lot this summer. I think I made a 14. Did I make a 12 or a 14? I kind of hover between on Soho House 7. Actually, I probably made a 12. I think I'm 12 at the top on theirs, and I head towards a 14 in the hip. But because this was kind of nice and loose, I didn't need to tweak any, I don't think. So I think I made a 12 in that. And the next couple are Soho House 7 patterns as well. Now these have been awesome this summer. This is my toile, and it's been worn as still got threads, sorry. This is the Soho House 7 Tumalo, I think. It's the one I can't say. Anyway, that lovely jumpsuit in knit. It's drafted to be made in one that doesn't have cotton spandex, that just has mechanical stretch and recovery, and then you do the bands in something a bit more stretchy. Comes in two versions, a shorts version and a long version, and is in their full size range, which I think is 0 to 32. I made the 12, although I should have made a 14 for the hip, which is why I twirled it. And when I made my second version, I also took a couple of centimeters out of the front and back rise, actually. So I think she dressed for 5'7", and I'm 5'5" and a bit, but most of my length is in my legs, so that's not an unsurprising adjustment for me to make. I normally need to either take some out of a bodice or to take it out of the kind of this part of them, because my legs are really long for how tall I am. So that was the first one, which was made of some scraps. That's been used as a swim cover up. It's been used to sleep in when I went camping. Yes, it's been very useful, and I'm sure there's going to be more of these in my future. It fits so nicely around the bodice, and it really goes well with my body shape, because that's kind of my smallest part. I think I like the proportions that I get from that. So that was the shorts version. And then I went on very quickly to make this beautiful floral art gallery fabric knit long version, which I've worn so much on all sorts. I've worn it with heels, I've worn it with pumps, I've worn it to kind of chase about in. The most comfy thing with these enormous pockets. I'm not sure it's probably strictly meant to be made in something as movie as an art gallery cotton jersey, but I think she kind of envisaged it in more stable knits, but it's worked perfectly. I haven't had any problem with it. So, and I did wonder whether I would need to stabilise the waist seam, but I haven't done, and I haven't had, even with the long legs, I haven't had any problem. Sorry, I feel like I'm racing through these at 1,000 miles an hour, but just having decided to do this, I'm feeling better that we're getting. There's quite a lot of colour in this year's palette, but I think I've done well with it. I think I really like this. So I had like the scraps left from this art gallery jersey. This one's looking a bit more battered. I have been washing them. At 20 or 30 degrees, certainly mostly 20, I think, to try and not have so much of an effect. I use a detergent called Minimal, which is supposed to be eco and not contain any bleaching agents, etc. But I think they are a little bit faded, and I was wondering whether some of it was because they've been hung out to dry in the sunshine. But yes, I mean, they've also been washed and worn a ton. This is the Notch Tess. This is the t-shirt version. comes in lots of versions. I think I've spoken about this before. I was a tester and loved the chalk and notch pattern test process. Is phenomenal. I've done quite a lot of pattern testing, and I've done quite a lot of kind of feeding back for written instructions and yada yada. So I was part of the fit test part. So she has 2-part process. And it was phenomenal. The amount of work that goes into tweaking these patterns to make sure that they look the absolute best across the whole side range was, I was in awe of Gabrielle and the team at Chalk and Notch. I think, I was really heartened to see how seriously she takes everything that she's doing and how many different iterations there were to try and get things exactly as she wanted them to look, and to have people feel that they were fitting really well. So this is the tee, this is the cropped length. Although I'm so short-waisted, it's not really cropped on me. I put a label in the back because they're very similar front and back, but actually the back has got this low scoop. And I think she describes it as a ballet neckline. And yeah, if you don't have a tried and true t-shirt dress pattern, I would heartily recommend this. There are A, B and C, D cup sizes. I made the 10 grading to the 12 in the CD cup. And I think this is the first iteration. I think it's been tweaked slightly since then. But I think the tweaks just involve like band length and things like that. But I tweaked that anyway when I was making it. So, very pleased with this. And I think there will probably be a long sleeved wintry version. And I'm going to run up a couple of white ones so that I've got some in my stash. But there's all sorts of, sleeve length options and cropped, standard length, hip length, long length, and then the long length has got some mitered cornered splits on them so that you can walk in it. Anyway, that's that one. Love that one. Then we have, I think these are mostly almost in order that I made. These are, if you had to get a pants pattern that I might have made for summer, could you guess what it is? So these are the Chanterelle pants by Sew Liberated. I used the zip expansion hack and I made 14, I think, in these. You buy the zip expansion pack separately. I mean, you could probably do it yourself, but it just means that it's very easy. They have exemplary instructions. There is a flat front and then that elastic back, but it's not too elasticy, so you can use something that's kind of quite mid-weighty and still it doesn't, you don't end up with a big ploofy bottom. And I meant to go back in and top stitch that and I haven't done, but actually it's sitting okay. This is an Izzy Miyake tencel blend. I think that's all I know about it. It was had got a slight sheen on one side, but I tried to make sure that the sheen went on the inside, not the outside, because I didn't really want shiny trousers. I made the cuffed bottom one, which is all of mine, all their different fabrics. I've always done the cuffed one. I will make a wide pair eventually. And I put the patch pockets on the back, but they're the in pockets instead of the patch pockets on the front in this iteration. And these have been worn so much. And because they're kind of midway, I think they're going to carry right through the year. So I might need to think about making another pair. I'm not sure. I can only have one very useful pair of trousers, but they're a lovely weight and texture. I have thoroughly enjoyed wearing them. A couple more now, and these are the ones that have most recently been made. These were made for holiday. So the first is this Lazo jumpsuit. Gosh, I think it looks bigger than me, doesn't it? This is a Helens Closet pattern that was released last year. I think I made the bigger bodice in this one. I think I made a 12 in the C to D cup, I think, and I might have graded out a little bit to a 14 at the hip. I think I kind of fit between her sizes. I thought I might have to grade out more, so I was kind of trying this on as I went, but I basted it and tried it on once I'd got the kind of the nuts and bolts assembled. This is in a kind of textured cotton with a stripe in it. It has this really neatly done placket, and I did a bit of a poll, and we I chose these vintage yellow buttons because I love that combination of the blue and white and the yellow. And then there's this drawstring that goes through at the waist, so you can decide how much you want to bring it in. This is probably a little bit too structured for this garment, I think. I'm hoping it's going to soften a little bit, but I have worn it loads. It would be beautiful in a linen, absolutely lovely in a linen. But it is reasonably fabric hungry because of the wide legs, and I made the full length version. You could make a shorts version as well. This would be really nice also in like a needle cord or like a cotton twill. You could wear it like all year round. You could layer it up quite easily. Yeah, really nice. Really like that one. So Helen's instructions are, as always, wonderful. She's often the place that I direct people to, if they're beginner dressmakers, if they're that kind of, if her aesthetic appeals. But I just think she does really good staples that you can make and wear in all different fabrics and wear them for years to come. So yes, I love this. And we've got to the final. If you've stayed with me this long, thank you so much. Wave at me if you can think of some of the ones that I've made that I haven't included. I'm sure there are some. This is a slightly crumpled Saturday set, which I made for the So Precious Fabric Challenge run by Tomcat Stitchery, lovely Whitney. This is a Dashwood rayon designed by Rachael Parker, which is it's a beautiful, beautiful fabric. It is, as often I find with Dashwood rayon, there's some little pulls occurring, no matter that I've used a Microtex needle and been kind of properly careful. I have made the Saturday set before. I've made me the top. I've made the girls the bottoms. So I just tried on one of their bottoms in a large and it fitted me fine. So I did that. This has a flat front and a elastic back, and you stitch down the elastic. And in common with Rachael of the French Seams, I don't like lines across the back, so I've done swirls, although they're not very even, but never mind. I'd rather have uneven swirls than lines. I think it sits better. And this is slightly longer than the pattern calls for because I didn't shorten it. Again, my eldest girl is about there, so I added kind of that much to the length of it, and I ended up just leaving it the same because I just thought I could take the bottom off if I want to, but I like it this length. Now the top of this, I had some issues, and I partly had some issues because of my overlock has been a bit tetchy recently. Even though it's just been for service, it's just been a bit grumpy. But some of it was the kind of nature of Friday Pattern Company, and no disrespect to Friday Pattern Company, but they make easily made garments, I think is probably fair. But I kind of just missed some of the detail finishing on them. And I think I had on a Gilbert shirt the other day, and I noticed how nicely the inner of that was completed versus the inner of this. And I nearly made a Gilbert shirt in the top, but I just really wanted that kind of wrap over top. I've gone back in, I'll put a picture in, because I'd overlocked the edge, that inner edge, and it kept kind of just rolling and peeping out, even though I'd kind of top stitched it and I'd stitched in the ditch and I'd done some hand stitching. So what I went back in, and you'll probably be able to see there, I just turned under and hemmed that edge. So if it does pop out, I just did it by hand, but if it does pop out, you can't really see it. I also anchored the facing further down. Now I had made some adjustments to this. I think I made either the large or the extra large. I think I might have made the extra large, and then I added another. So I'd already added 2 centimeters to the sleeve, but my sleeves were too short on my other one, so I did a 3 centimeters. I've added 5 centimeters in total to the sleeve. I added another 2 centimeters to the bodice depth. Is that it? I think that was it. I don't think I did a forward shoulder on it. And I've loved wearing this. This has looked so nice with just with my normal chanterelles, which are like kind of a mucky blue colour, and with my jeans and with shorts, and just kind of like as a layer over the top of things. I've really loved the colours of it. So that's definitely a successful make. And I will do something similar, if not the same, again. I love the versatility of having that 2-piece, which means that you kind of yeah, I think I'm definitely moving towards 2 pieces, she said, with all her jumpsuits in a summer wardrobe. Right, I think that's it. Let me know if I've missed out details about sizing or anything. I'll have linked the patterns as usual down below in the description box, so hopefully you can find your way across. I would recommend everything that I've made. I don't think there was anything that was, there wasn't a good make. But the standouts for me are that Soho House 7 jumpsuit, definitely, and the Chalk and Notch Tess t-shirt in terms of fit and refinement. Really, really good. Really like them. Let me know what you think. What are your wins and fails there? I don't think, the only issue I had was with the Claire shorts, and that was entirely on me. That wasn't a pattern thing, and I probably will make another pair of those. So, and I have my toiles, but that's more been about kind of the vibe of what I'm wanting to sew. So I've had things queued up next door to sew. I've got a toile done of a skirt, and I still haven't made it. So I'm just, we're just embracing this slower pace of things and seeing where it leads a bit, I think. So, yes, thank you to everybody who liked and commented on the last video I put up. I really appreciate it. I love reading what you've got to tell me, and I'll often get chatting, as you've probably noticed. I shall say goodbye for now, and I shall see you with the Me Maids Away Croatia edition roundup very soon.